What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So, the newest Warframe temple had a massive bug at launch where their damage wasn't scaling properly, and basically DE has fixed that, and now we have some crazy fire procs on temple. So I'm going to go over my new updated temple build, because I don't use the old one anymore now this bug's been fixed. Before we get into this stuff, though, make sure to sub this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads, build videos, news videos, all that kind of stuff. You're the right place for Warframe content. We have a new dev stream on Saturday I'll be covering as well. Okay, so what was wrong with Temple before, and why is Temple so crazy strong now? Well, Temple was already crazy strong, the newest Warframe, with how many things they can buff. Basically, third ability does a lot of stuff. That's the ability that got bug fixed. So, Ripper's Wail is the name of the ability, and it provides basically a full heal and a full shield heal, gives you invincibility, also gives you and your teammates a heat damage buff. Now, the heat damage buff that we're talking about, that was what was actually bugged out before and not working properly. It was affecting the upfront damage of heat damage, but it was not affecting the DOT, the damage over time of a heat proc after you hit the enemy. So now that it does affect damage over time effects, Temple is crazy strong with heat procs. You can get easy million, like there's a 3 million or something like that, really easy million plus damage with Temple. And, you know, you have infinite ammo basically too. So it's like having an Exalted Ignis Wraith that has red crits and multi-million heat proc damage too. So let's go over what has been changed with the build and what you can expect. Again, the build from last video was still fine, but it was weaker because it was literally built around a bug that was in the game. It was like a blast electric build. But yeah, this one is a fully heat proc build. Now, we have Nourish on here too, because it's only one of the buffs that Temple can use, because Temple's 3 is considered a damage buff. So we've got Nourish and Ripper's Wail. And additionally, we can buff crit chance too with Temple's second ability, which I don't remember the name of, like After Effects or something, Aftershocks, I don't know what it's called. Either way, we're in the sim here. We're going to go ahead and show how Temple is going to work now. And this is the new Lizzie Build, the Exalted Guitar of Temple. So if you don't want to use a Bane mod, just put like Amalgam Serration on there instead. It's less damage, but it's also, you don't have to use a Bane mod, basically. So what has changed here is it used to be a Blast Electric build with like a Archon Shard. Now it's a purely heat-focused build. And as far as what you should mod for on here, you want to go with heat mods to increase the heat DOT damage and also Prime Bane of the Grenier. I've also got Merciless on here. We're not really going for headshots, so this is just a good extra damage chunk. And also Prime Firestorm, if you watch my previous video, does work at the AoE size of Lizzie. If you don't want to use this, you can go for another damage mod, technically. Maybe you can throw a Serration on there. But either way, this is my favorite Lizzie build. And now as far as what's changed with the Archon Shards on Temple, I have taken off the other purple shard. Now we've got 3 red Power Strength shards, so 45% extra Power Strength. We've got 1 Equilibrium Violet Tau Archon Shard. This gives us, basically, health orbs become energy orbs and vice versa. And 1 Casting Speed Shard. Just get those abilities out quicker and to stack up your Ripper's Wail bonus. This bonus can go up to 750% heat damage, but it starts out at like 224. You hit enemies with Overdrive and Recast Ripper's Wail to get a bigger buff. And we've got Nourish over our first ability. Now, as far as the Temple build, it hasn't really changed much from the previous video, just the Lizzie build's really what's been changed in the Archon Shards. But yeah, it's a lazy tank build. Since Temple's third ability, Ripper's Wail, gives you a full heal and full shield heal, adaptation's actually pretty good on Temple. Additionally, since we're doing so many fire procs with our abilities, Archon Vitality gives us double heat procs, and it's just really deadly. The rest of the stuff on here is just Power Strength, Duration, Energy Economy stuff, and a little bit of casting speed extra, because this is more than having 2 shards, and also corrosive protection. We have no armor strips. This is our built-in armor strip. As far as our arcanes, Arcane Hotshot on heat proc for an ability gives crit chance for weapons. This works on Lizzie like so well. It's pretty much made for Temple. And also Arcane Aegis. Whenever we are getting damaged, we have a chance to have crazy shield regen for 12 seconds. That's very good with adaptation, since we have really tanky shields, actually. Now go ahead and show you how this works here. There's a couple things you want to know with Temple. Now, we want to have our metronome meter in the middle charged up, so you can cast abilities on the beat to get that meter charged up, that you'll be able to cast your Lizzie ability. So we use the second ability, use the third ability, which just got its bug fix. We start with 239% heat damage from Ripper's Wail. So we can keep recasting our second ability. It's called Overdrive, not whatever I said earlier, Aftershocks. And as you can see right now, just one little quick tap on the enemy, 1.4 million damage. You know, like 645k, and we're about a third of the maximum bonus. So if we were to keep casting Aftershocks, whatever I call it, overdrive. You can see at the top right corner the buff is going up and up and up. It's about 15% bonus per cast. And, you know, you'll eventually get to 750, which is going to be like the multi-million damage DOTs really, really easy. So right there, one little tap on them, 2 heat procs, 2 Vira procs. There's no Panzer Cat here, it's just Nourish. 2.7 million. And of course, this is with 3.3 million. This is, again, with no Rivens, because Rivens don't exist for these things. So, yeah, you can see how ridiculous Temple is now if you want a heat proc-focused build. And again, you don't have to run Bane mods. You don't have to run every little thing that I have. It's just, it's nice to run a build like this, in my opinion. So, 434, 9 heat procs in like about a second, and they're taking millions of damage so easily. So, reminder too, you can use the chords of Lizzie to get some procs on them too. So we got Galvanized. After 2, we'll get lots and lots of procs. These can also proc heat procs too. So we do a chord there. She's taking 422,000 heat proc damage. So not too shabby. So yeah, guys, big buff to Temple. And again, this also works for your teammates too. I forgot to mention that part. As you can see, Count Mochi has a heat buff for Ripper's Whale. So everyone on your team will be doing crazy heat proc damage like this. Now, they won't have a red crit Exalted Flamethrower, but yeah, everyone will be getting this buff, and you're going to be also pretty much invincible, too. So we can go ahead and show how the survivability works when you turn the enemy's AI back on. We just basically jump in there and fish for an Aegis proc. Once we get it, we're pretty much just GG winning. We're GG winning. We just got the Aegis proc. So, yeah. Temple is a very survival frame. It's not all about the arcanes, but it is a pretty big part about the arcane right there. So, I'd say if you've been waiting for Temple to get their bug fix before you play them, you're good to go now. You have easy access to multi-million damage heat procs with, you know, it's really minimal effort. So, yeah, I'd say Temple's good to go. As far as the rest of the stuff I have equipped up here, I have the Offentus equipped. I'm not using the Offentus, but yeah, the Offentus does buff the fire rate of Lizzie. So you basically just throw down the bubble of the Offentus like this. And then you activate Lizzie in the bubble. This is going to give you 30% fire rate. If you're going to kill, you'll hold on to that buff when you leave the bubble, too. So that's an option. I don't really use it that much, but you can. As far as the build for the Offentus, got something like this. As far as the Grimoire, I'm also not really using this, too, but you can if you want to. I've got increased power strength. You can go for increased duration if you want to. You could go for energy burst from Netra or Zata's Invocation. You could also throw down some extra fire rate from Low Conticle. It's really not that big of a deal, but you could do something like this to buff yourself even further. For the Praetos, you just want to be having basically movement speed from sprint speed and parkour velocity. And as far as the companion, I got the Adarza Kavat. This gives us extra crit chance to get even more red crits with Lizzie. So we got Cat's Eye. And then also, I got the wrong shield mod on here too. So, yeah, either way, Reinforced Bond is not really the best on this cat because it has such bad shields, but if you want, just reload your gun a couple times, you get even more fire right there. But yeah, the big thing is going to be Tenacious Bond, which if it has the right crit chance, will give you increased crit damage on your Lizzie as well. So good stuff there. And it looks like it is the correct crit chance, so good stuff. But yeah, big thing here is a Darza Cat with Cat's Eye. This will get us basically guaranteed red crits and everything stacked up. So good stuff there. And yeah, guys, I'd say if you haven't played Temple yet, this is your indicator. It's time to play Temple now. Very easy EDA clears, very easy ETA clears. I'm planning to use it for level 10,000. I will probably change the build for level 10,000 a little bit because adaptation level 10,000 doesn't really do anything. So, yeah, maybe expect like rolling guard on that slot instead, and maybe a couple other small changes. But yeah, for the most part, this is my new Temple build. I really like Temple after this change. They're quite fun. They're, you know, very, very easy to play too, and very, very strong, which are good combination of effects to have in Warframe. So, see you guys in the next video. We got that big redemption on Saturday. Hopefully a new update reveal and all that stuff too. So, see you guys then. Peace.